Ooh, that's pretty view in my mirror. But today I want to talk about the other pretty view in my mirror, because today I will be talking about my impressions, what I think, what I saw, what we're gonna speculate about the new Assetto Corsa EVO trailer that came out 2 days ago. Many of you have asked me to give my opinion, so here we are. This is why I grabbed my M3 Touring, parked it on the main street of Nürburgring, you know, our beloved village that belongs to the Nürburgring. Because when we look in our rear view mirror, and my camera does not want to focus, let's put it on manual focus actually, and so we twist the focus ring and then we see this. And this actually looks awkwardly similar to what we saw in the rearview mirror of a Morgan three-wheeler driving. And then it looks like it was shot from this angle. Funnily enough, the Nürburgring Boulevard sign is not in the trailer. Because otherwise it would give away too much. But the previous two locations, the main street and the Eiffel Blick building, including the hairpin corner of the road between Nürburgring and Adenau, are kind of giveaways that these locations might be in the game in whichever form possible, whether it's a photo mode or free roam or open world or etc. or who knows. Yeah, so having said that, let me go through the rest of the trailer on my phone and tell you what I think, what it might be hinting at or might be featuring in the actual final version, or maybe even the public access alpha or beta versions. So let's start actually with the beginning, and when we watch, can you see it? So the interesting part is that the car featured at the intro is actually a Lego model of a Porsche. Now, what does Lego stand for, dear children? Because Lego is for kids, right? Except for the very expensive Lego Technic sets. Lego stands for building. So I would think that this suggests that you will be able to build your car. By building, I mean properly modifying it, because of course in Assetto Corsa you could already, Assetto Corsa, that could be slogan for the shirt. You can of course already modify all the suspension settings, aerodynamic settings, etc. But maybe in the Evo you will be able to go beyond, modify the engine. Speaking of which, we will get back in one of the other features of the trailer. Change different tires that you could already do previously, different brake pads maybe, putting different spoilers on and increase the aerodynamics of the car. I do not know. So, we're driving with the Porsche, then of course it transforms into the real life world Porsche that you see on the driving through some sort of public road, because it doesn't look like you have a 2 lane, so it could be street circuit or it could be public road. Maybe in the Eiffel, maybe anywhere else in the world. Who knows? It is a Porsche turbo. Is it a turbo? We're zooming in. It's a turbo 3.6. All right, good, with a nice rubber ducktail, but furthermore nothing else that features anything crazy. We see a Ford Performance logo, which is very actually high detailed, so it's going to be very detailed. Then we see BMW M4 CSL parked at Devil's Diner, again Nürburgring location at the entrance of the track. Doesn't say much because TF entrance was already available in the original Assetto Corsa. So it's not going to mean a lot, except for the fact that this is most updated Bilstein advertising in the car park, so it is up to date. The level of detail again is fantastic. The level of detail of the cars, this means that M4 CSL is going to be there. Next we see hands of a child. It looks like going over an old school Alfa Romeo steering wheel and then going towards actually AMG GT, probably it is, steering wheel. Important thing are the hands. They're just hands without gloves in a leather jacket, but later we will see actual hands with the gloves. I think it's one of the next fragments already. So we have Porsche brakes, we have the actual GT3 Cup car, we have a simulator, and then we see various car models that actually transform to the actual model. What I do wonder is, what is this small sign on the side skirt, because it does not seem to be featured on the actual OG version of the car. Then we proceed driving. We see a McLaren 765 LT, we see a Mini driven, and then we see an Alfa Romeo GTA. The question is, where is it standing? Because it does resemble, in a way, to an extent, the interior of Nürburgring Boulevard. Maybe. And then we have engine of this Alfa Romeo GTA. So the question is, why do we see the engine? Does it again mean that you can modify the cars? Can you just like showcase, randomly open the bonnet and look at the engine? It would be a useless feature, would be a cool feature, but I think there is more behind it. So it would be cool if you can actually modify the cars and see that actually also visually, but most importantly also performance-wise on the car. The next we see the Cup car driving away, driving on the track, then having a race. We see a Marshall chilling, cars again crossing, so it's just a bit of like driving. We see actual racing of the particular Cup car, and lots of very high detailed interior, which is very nice. The screen is very detailed, but we see also racing gloves. This means again the difference between the street driving and race car driving, and whether it's automatically determined by the type of car you're driving or where you are driving, or maybe you can customize your character, maybe. Dynamic weather, so it goes from day to night to from dry to wet, and physics related to that. So proper 24 hours of Nürburgring if you cannot drive it in real life, because it's only 7.5 hours because someone wants to go home early. You can do a proper one in the game. Or if you do not like the environment in real life because the weather sucks, maybe you'll be able to drive in the game with a more beautiful fictional weather like you're gonna have in the majority parts of the world. All right, then next parts, driving Alpine and a Lotus, and again very high infotainment details of the car. Active G-force meter, again emphasis on the whole dynamics of the car, or I would say the functionality of infotainment, the physics that will be working. Then we have, well, of course, Ferrari driving through the Nürburgring, then of course the Morgan three-wheeler that was most likely driving through the main street of Nürburgring because it had the Eiffel Blick building in its rear view mirror, followed by it driving on probably the road from Nürburgring to Adenau and passing another traffic. So it doesn't mean that you can free roam, featuring other people, buy Nürburgring property, set up own shop, rent a car from Nürburgring agencies. What else would be typical? Eat a schnitzel, eat tiramisu. How would digital tiramisu feature? It could be a power-up. You go from Nürburgring to Adenau, you buy tiramisu at 27, it gets you power-up. It makes you faster, gives you reaction time faster or something. Who knows? We can fantasize. We can fantasize about things like that. Followed by... well, cool part. Followed by Ioniq 5N featured. Would be cool if we can build a World Time Attack car for Ioniq 5N. Finally, this shot. Well, first of all, high level of detail on the brake caliper. You see the deformation of the paint on the brake caliper that happens quite often. You see the brake disc glowing. Now, the tire degradation was already a thing in original Assetto Corsa. If you do burnout for too long or you do too much drifting, then the grip will go lower. What about the brakes though? Would you be able to overheat the brakes? Will Assetto Corsa prepare you for the real life brake issues that people run into in the real world? That would be cool. That would be nice. And Then we have some feet action. So for people who enjoy my pedal cams, it's also happening here, and we're doing also just both feet. So basically left foot braking and normal driving at the same time. And also shoes, different shoes. Can you customize shoes? I mean, it would be some sick brand deals for like for Assetto Corsa, for product placement, to have different footwear, etc. Makes sense. Then very high detailed version of the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and steering wheel. Very nice. I wonder if you can also cycle through all the modes like Ioniq 5N. If you can shift, if you can run normally, if you can turn on, off, traction control, drift mode, launch control, etc. Because why not? Yeah, Drifto, Dorifto, Golf GTI, OG Golf, followed by the modern Golf. The Beast of the Green Hell livery of the taxi car, but it's not a taxi car because it's an actual GT3 car. So it seems. Where's the GT2? No, I think it's a GT3, AMG GT3. Yeah, jumping on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and I think that's kind of it. Assetto Corsa driving simulation evolved. They're all split, so it's could be driving simulation evolved, but it could be driving, that it's focused on the driving. It's also simulation, and also the whole thing is evolved. How you perceive Assetto Corsa. Having said that, what are your speculations? And I can tell you definitely that I'm very much looking forward to the upcoming title, to experience it in full glory. Whether it's going to suck me from my daily life into the digital life in Assetto Corsa, and also drive with you on public roads potentially of the Nürburgring, or actual just Nürburgring Nordschleife, that would be really cool. That would be nice. I'm definitely very much looking forward to seeing what it's all about. Let's see if there's gonna be some more teasers in the upcoming days, months, weeks, etc. I'm gonna go and edit this video for you, followed by AMG 1 video for tomorrow. Bye! And let me know what you think what might be in the upcoming version. Most importantly, will the new foxhole curb be a thing? Blech.